Mobile City Council, Tuesday, May the 6th. Please stand for our invocation, led by Chaplain Tony Laguerre, Public Safety Chaplain, and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I always like to greet this council with a big hello and greetings from the Mobile Police Department, strong and resolute. Happy to serve you. Let's pray. Our Father, we thank you for a wonderful day, and everywhere we look, looks like you. What a good God you are, and we thank you that we may know you in a personal way through your Son. We gather here in the city gates, and we ask humbly, Lord, would you favor us with your presence? So that, Lord, your Spirit is evident here, more so than our own caricatures. We pray that you bless our city leaders as they give guidance to our town and our community, and our mayor and his staff. Today, Lord, we'll honor you as we deliberate for your glory and the betterment of our people. In Christ's name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, President Small.
Here.
Vice President Gregory.
Here.
Councilmember Penn.
Here.
Councilmember Carroll. Here. Councilmember Reynolds. Here. Councilmember Daves. Councilmember Woods.
Here.
Statement of rules.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
It's good to see everybody this morning. Welcome to our May 6, 2025 meeting. At this meeting, we do have rules. At this time, I ask if anyone have any type of electronic device, including cell phones, please at this time put it on the off or the vibrate position. The off or the vibrate position. Any person that is desiring to address the Mobile City Council must sign in indicating the resolution a public hearing agenda item before entering the meeting. When addressing the council, the speaker must give his or her name. Any person that desires to speak to the council on a non-agenda item must contact the city clerk office no later than 2 p.m. the Thursday prior to the council meeting. The subject that he or she wishes to express to the Mobile City Council must be identified pertaining to the city of Mobile business. Anyone who has not given a proper notice to the city clerk office and wishes to speak on a non-agenda item will not be allowed to address this council. Each speaker is allowed 3 minutes to address this council. A bell will indicate the end of 2 minutes. 1 minute remains for summarizing. The second bell indicates that your time has expired. To maintain decorum, there will be no undue applause or public outcry allowed. Madam Clerk.
Approval of minutes of April the 29th.
So move.
Second. Properly moving second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Madam Clerk.
Communications from Mayor Stimpson.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Good to see everybody today. I have three subjects of announcements, and then I have two proclamations to read. The first has to do with recent public safety legislations that have been passed in Montgomery. And kind of to highlight them, we have new restrictions for firearm possession by felons and those out on bail for violent offenses. There's new legislation about increasing the penalty for shooting into an occupied dwelling. There's new sanctions for gun possession for those on parole or probation. And there's an expansion of a Niles law, which gives a judge more options to withhold bail for violent crime. There was a previous bill that banned trigger activators, which are commonly known as lock switches. But I would say this, that these are tools that have been provided by the legislature to help law enforcement make the city of Mobile safer, and not just the city of Mobile, but the state of Alabama. So tremendously grateful to Governor Ivey and the legislative leadership for seeing these through, and Stephen McNair, who helped usher them through on the behalf of the city. But it wasn't just our team that was able to get this done. You know, over the last 10 years, 11 years, we've had a coalition that we refer to as the Big Ten mayors, and those are the mayors of the 10 largest cities. They supported all of these initiatives, which helped from a political standpoint and a lobbying standpoint to make sure that these issues got passed. So we're, again, tremendously grateful for that. I also want to tell you about a disaster preparedness tabletop exercise. In the past, what you do is you call your team together and you go through an exercise, and an exercise could be like there's a Cat 3 or Cat 4 hurricane coming up Mobile Bay. And so what do we do? Well, I want to commend all of our department leaders and the Office of Resilience and Community Partners. From my understanding, we had maybe one of the more successful tabletop or disaster preparedness tabletop exercises that we've ever had. And that was all pretty much internally. But having gone through that with all the city departments, now we'll reach outside the city to our other partners in disaster preparedness in the county to make sure that we are in the best shape we could possibly be from a preparedness standpoint should we have a disaster looming. Those departments that participated in the tabletop exercise were the Public Safety, Department of Resilience, and one of our fellows, Madeline Dotson, who works in the Office of Resiliency for us. So, also we have a new, I don't know if it's available to everybody outside, it is, this new Mobile Parks and Rec Department activity guide. It's a comprehensive guide of everything that we're going to be doing in the park and rec facilities between now and August. It's really very detailed information. There's some fantastic programming. It tells about our facilities, recreational opportunities. And at this time, I would call upon Kim Carmody to come up and tell us a little bit more about it. Kim?
Thank you, Mayor. We are so
Hit the
excited.
button.
All right. That one? Thank you for introducing. This is our activity guide, and I wanted to showcase it, but I want to give a big shout out to the two individuals that have worked tirelessly on this activity guide. If you'll notice over the past couple of years, we've kind of evolved in our activity guide. But Erin Breyer, she is our creative genius in making sure that it flows well and it looks absolutely beautiful and it's a magazine quality. The other individual who's not currently here is Kristen Taylor. She is the one that gathers all the information, takes the photos, and works with Erin to make this a showpiece for the city of Mobile. But a couple of items I want to bring your attention to, and then I'll be quick, is our July Parks and Recreation Month. Did everybody see that? Yeah. We are going to be celebrating Parks and Recreation Month in July. And so we have come up with a program for something of every day that we're going to be doing some. Whether it's tennis, golf, after school, swimming, aquatics, sending a picture of the park in. So we're going to be promoting that pretty heavily because we want people to understand that Parks and Recreation is important to our lives, our quality of lives, our service. And so if you need a couple to hand out to your friends and family, give me a call and I'll make sure you get those. But this is an amazing piece. So thank you, Erin, for all the work you did.
Hey, great job. This is really outstanding work. We really appreciate you all so much for all the hard work y'all doing.
Appreciate it. And that was not a posed picture on the front. That was the fire department actually doing a program with us. And so that was the perfect picture for our cover shot.
Mr. President,
Mr. Penn.
I would like to say I believe we have the best Parks and Recreation Department in the United States of America.
I agree.
I mean, I don't know how they do it. They have so many amazing events and programs throughout our city. I was out there at the Dots Community Center, at the Mike Dow Amphitheater on yesterday, celebrating with them yesterday. And I'm gonna be with them on Friday. They doing something on a regular basis. And you're doing an amazing job, Kim. Your team are doing an amazing job. And just thank you so much for all the service that you provide the city of Mobile.
We enjoy it. Thank you.
Can we give them a big hand, Aaron, everybody?
For the team. We have a great team.
Everybody, thank you.
This is just, let's say, Parks and Rec, maybe physical activity. But keeping our young people engaged also ultimately helps us public safety-wise throughout the summer. So please encourage people that have children that saying that, well, there's nothing to do in Mobile. Shoot them down. Show them this guide. We appreciate that. So my first proclamation has to do with Children's Mental Health Week. And I'd ask Judge Naaman with the Strickland Youth Center and representatives from Alta Point, DHR, Child Advocacy Center, the Bridge, and Mobile County Public School Systems. If y'all can come to the podium, please. And anybody else you want to bring? So, Judge, I'll read the proclamation. I'll hand it to y'all. We'll take a quick picture here, and then you'll have an opportunity to make a few remarks to the city council, okay? Or anybody else that would like to make the remarks. So the proclamation reads, whereas the mental health and well-being of children are essential to their success in school and relationships and throughout life, and whereas Children's Mental Health Awareness Week is an opportunity to highlight the importance of supporting children's mental health and ensuring access to comprehensive, compassionate, and effective mental health services. And whereas early identification and intervention for children experiencing mental health challenges can lead to significantly improved outcomes in emotional, social, and academic development. And whereas fostering the mental well-being of children is a shared responsibility among parents, caregivers, educators, healthcare providers, and the broader community to help all children reach their full potential. Now, therefore, I, William S. Stimson, 108th Mayor of the City of Mobile, do hereby recognize the week of May 4th through May 10th, 2025 as Children's Mental Health Week in the City of Mobile. Thank you so much for what you do. There's some on this side.
Well, I'd like to, Mayor, thank you so much, and I'd like to thank the council and your staffs for this proclamation today and recognizing how important mental health is. You guys know we are struggling right now in our community. Many of our families are having it very hard and difficult with issues with mental health. And we are blessed as a community, unlike many communities in our state, that we have such a vibrant mental health community and collaboration. So I love to have my partners here from the Bridge and from Alta Point and from the school system. It's very unique, you know, and we are very blessed to have it. And I thank you for being a part of that and making sure that happens. So thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much for this proclamation to the council and to the mayor. My name is Denise Reamer. I'm the lead social worker for Mobile County Public School System. And so on behalf of Superintendent Threadgill, I also want to thank our partners at the court, both Alta Point and the Bridge, and some of our other mental health partners for providing mental health services in our schools. This is our 13th year of this collaboration.
Good morning. Thank you so much to the council, to the mayor, and to our mental health partners, Judge Naiman, Denise, with the school system, DHR. We do appreciate your recognition of this very important topic, and Alta Point Health is here to support the community.
Thank you so much for recognizing the Bridge. It's a daunting task trying to get our youth back on track, but with all our partnerships, we've been very successful, and we thank you so much.
Mr. President,
Yeah, Mr. Penn.
Mr. President, I know I'm saying a lot right now, but these people, they are really superstars. When I say superstars, I have the opportunity to reach out to them on a regular basis. They could be on vacation. I call Judge, he might be at his daughter's wedding, and he answering the phone. So I just, Judge and Denise and Alta Point, they are doing an amazing job. I call them for help with young people, and they answer the phone. And so I just want to commend you all. Sometimes it's a thankful job. People don't see the hard work behind the scenes that you all are doing. And I just want to commend you publicly and say thank you for all the hard work that you provide the young people in our city and in our county as well. Y'all doing an amazing job. And I see it, and I just want to let you know, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So the next proclamation, I would ask David Clark, Patty Kiefer, and Ashley Raines to join me. And this is for Visit Mobile and celebrating National Travel and Tourism Week. Okay. Come on. Okay, and the proclamation reads, whereas the travel industry is essential to the success of every industry and will continue to be a critical part of the City of Mobile's economy, development, and workforce, and whereas nearly 3.5 million visitors traveled to Mobile in 2024, a 2.2% increase from the previous year, and whereas the visitors accounted for $1.9 billion in total travel-related spending in Mobile, and whereas in 2024, nearly 23,500 jobs in Mobile were travel-related employment, and whereas travel is an economic powerhouse for every state and destination across the country with an economic output of $2.9 trillion supporting 15 million American jobs, and whereas travel is an essential industry and we must continue to communicate that growing travel leads to an economic growth, benefits businesses, fosters mutual understanding, and connects the nation. Therefore, I, William S. Stimson, the 108th Mayor of the City of Mobile, do hereby officially proclaim May 4th through 10th, 2025 as National Travel and Tourism Week in the City of Mobile. Thank you very much.
Mr. President,
Mr. Penn.
while they taking a picture, again, I know I'm talking, but listen, David and their team is doing an amazing job. I was in Arkansas, Fairfield. Don't ask me why I'm in Arkansas. But I'm in Arkansas, and a young lady told me for their wedding vacation, honeymoon, they came to Mobile, Alabama. And I said, you came to Mobile, Alabama, and they said they saw a marketing ad, and they saw the culture and everything they want to experience, and they want to come to Mobile, Alabama. And I thought about David, and I thought about all the great work that they're doing with Visit Mobile. And I know a lot of times we think about our city because we hear, but it's some great things here in the city of Mobile. And we have to tell our story, and they're telling our story. So David, thank you so much. Visit Mobile, the whole team, y'all doing an amazing job. Can we give them a big hand as well? Y'all doing a great job. Thank you.
Mr. President,
Vice President.
I'm going to piggyback on the Councilman Penn show this morning. And David and team, Ashley, Patty, everyone, you really are doing a tremendous job. We see the results. So thank you. The marketing looks terrific. I love seeing all the ads. And then keeping us abreast of everything, too. It really works. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you all so much for all the hard work y'all doing for our city. Thank you. Yes, sir.
You know, it takes a team. I want to just thank the city council, our mayor, our administration, all of our hospitality partners, our hotels, attractions, restaurants, and so many people in this room. You know, without you, it doesn't get done. Our tourism years, our best years are ahead of us. So thank you for everything that y'all do.
Mr. President, that concludes my remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Vice President.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. President. We have some young people in the audience today. They are 5th through 8th graders at St. Ignatius, part of the Student Government Association. Would you all please stand so we can recognize you all? And if you will, would like to get a photo with you. So if y'all can come down, stand in front, do you think, or best place? Yeah, just come down here and stand in the front and we'll get a quick photo with you if you would. Come on down this way.
Tighten up over the, come on, come in. There you go.
Councilman William Carroll.
Thank you, Mr. President. If I could invite the Alliance down, Mobile Historic Preservation, Restore Mobile, and all of our members of the Historic Society. This is a National Preservation Month, and we all know that in Mobile, we have so many properties across our cities, but especially in the heart of our city, the oldest part, downtown, within the Beltline or within the loop of I-165, I-65, and I-10. There's so many precious pieces of property and so many old pieces of property that we fight to preserve, to restore. I mean, we even move some of them up and down the street and put them in different places so that we can keep them. So today, I would like to read a proclamation that recognizes the efforts of everyone that puts forth a huge effort to restore our properties and keep the history of the city of Mobile's architecture intact. The proclamation reads as this: whereas the city of Mobile, founded in 1702 on the banks of the Mobile River, is a city rich in history, culture, and diverse architectural styles. And whereas Mobile is fortunate to have this history reflected in the preservation efforts and restoration of a vast collection of historic homes and buildings that represent our heritage and define the character of our beautiful city. And whereas these historic designations have produced enormous economic impact through hundreds of millions of dollars in investments and in renovations. In fiscal year 2023 alone, investments in locally designated historic districts exceeded $327 million, and hundreds of historic buildings were given a new life and a corresponding increase in taxable value. And whereas hundreds of jobs have been created and sustained in the construction trade, as well as ancillary vocations, well-preserved historic neighborhoods attract tourists by offering an authentic glimpse into the past, enriching cultural experiences, and boosting the local economy. And whereas the Mobile Historic Development Commission, Historic Mobile Preservation Society, the Downtown Mobile Alliance, Main Street Mobile, and Restore Mobile Incorporated, in conjunction with the Alabama Historical Commission and the National Trust for Historic Preservation, celebrate National Historic Preservation to all our residents and visitors. And now, therefore, I, Councilman William Carroll of District 2, and the members of the Mobile City Council do hereby proclaim May 2025 is Historic Preservation Month, done at the city of Mobile, Alabama, on the 6th day of May 2025. Congratulations.
I'm going to ask at this time, if you have any type of electronic device, please put on the off or the vibrate position, the off or the vibrate position. At this time, we're going to ask for Coach Ben Harris to come on down, please. It is indeed a great honor to stand beside this great legend that we have in the house on this morning. And if I was in church, I would say amen. Right? Proclamation. Whereas Coach Ben Harris has been selected for induction into the National High School Football Hall of Fame, with the ceremony scheduled for Saturday, June the 14th, 2025 in Canton, Ohio. And whereas a native of Mobile and alumnus of the Thomasville High School and Alabama State University, Coach Harris is the first high school coach in the state to receive this honor. And whereas Coach Harris has transformed the Blount High School football program, leading the Leopards to 4 Class 5A state championships in 1990, 1992, 1996, and 1997, and achieving a remarkable 100-30 record over 10 seasons, 135 games in 19 years as a high school head coach. And whereas his leadership extends beyond the fields, earning him accolades such as the Mobile County Citizen of the Year in 1996 and Blount High School Teacher of the Year in 1992, and fostering the development of numerous student athletes who have excelled in various fields. And whereas Coach Harris' dedication to high school athletes have been recognized with inductions into the Alabama High School Athlete Association Hall of Fame, the Alabama State Athletes Hall of Fame, the Baldwin County Sports Hall of Fame, and the Mobile Sports Hall of Fame. And whereas his upcoming induction into the National High School Football Hall of Fame further solidifies his legacy as transformative figure in the high school football. And now, therefore, be it resolved that we honor and commend Coach Ben Harris for his outstanding contributions to the high school football, the growth of young men in the community, and well-deserved induction into the National High School Football Hall of Fame, done at the city of Mobile, Alabama on the 6th day of May, 2025, signed by all 7 council members. Congratulations.
First of all, I'd like to say good morning to everybody, good afternoon, but it's a blessing to be able to go to Blount. You know, people ask me all the time, they say, Coach, you was a blessing to the kids. I say, no, the kids was a blessing to me. I enjoy helping kids. I enjoyed all my coaches. I don't want to start calling out names, but all my former coaches and players, and then I have one of my former players here today, and then I have the Blount High School alumni here, and they like family. So when I saw that purple and white, I told them it seemed like a Friday night game. So I was blessed to go to Blount, and then I was blessed to be around people like you, and then blessed to be part of the city of Mobile. Thank you. And then I want to say one more thing. Thank you for my wife and kids, that they was always there for me. Thank you.
Mr. President, while y'all are taking that picture, Coach Harris, extremely invested member in the community, lifelong member of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity, extreme athlete himself, playing football over all the years, very invested in our community. But my next statement may be addressed to the mayor of the city of Mobile. Seems like we might need to find another spot in that Heroes Park over in front of the Civic Center. It seems like our heritage in this city continues to produce Hall of Famers, and we might need to consider a few more of those spots as we age our city along. Coach, again, congratulations to you, and congratulations to your family.
Madam Clerk.
Adoption of the agenda.
Mr. President.
Mr. Richards, Mr. Penn.
Well, I couldn't go alone. You know, I got to make sure that, of course, my Rattler family and my good brother, Coach Ben Harris, you know, he graduated from Thomasville High, now LaFleur, where I graduated from. And so he inspired so many, of course, from Blount to LaFleur to Thomasville. And we're just so grateful for the service that you have provided our community as well as our organization. So thank you, congratulations. And like you said, you're a Hall of Famer. Let's give him a big hand as well. Thank you, guys.
So, Coach, if you hang around, we want to take all pictures with you, the council members and possibly the mayor and everything. Madam Clerk.
Adoption of the agenda.
So move.
Second. Properly moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Agenda is adopted.
Appeals, we have requests for a waiver of the noise ordinance on November the 1st in Mardi Gras Park, November 26th and 27th in Mardi Gras Park, and July the 19th in Langen Park.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Appeal passes.
Public hearings. Today is the public hearing to consider the proposed modification of a previously approved planned unit development for property located at 3674 and 3680 Dolphin Street.
This opened up the public hearing for this particular said item. Is anyone present that would like to address the council on this item? If not, this public hearing is closed.
Presentation of petitions and other communications to the council. Rick Polachek. Polachek.
Well, good morning.
Morning.
As you've discussed and debated cycling activities over the years, we're here to put a couple of faces behind a new movement in Mobile for cycling. By way of introduction, I am Rick Polachek, the president of the Mobile Bay Riders Cycling Club, and we thank you for allowing us to participate in this meeting today. All of us represent over 100+ members in the community that cycle the roads of Mobile and Baldwin County streets each week and each month. We're a very diverse group of people who just love to cycle and socialize together afterwards. Our club, the Mobile Bay Riders, is a formal 501c7 social club, and it was built on the legacy of the Riders, local informal cycling club here in Mobile. That club was founded in 2017, survived through COVID, and has merged with an influx of new riders over the past few years that have an interest in cycling. Our mission is to encourage cycling for all ages and all skill levels. We strive to unite the local cycling groups and individuals to promote our healthy lifestyle, social and spirited rides, while advocating for safe cycling. We endeavor to advocate for improved cycling infrastructure and promote safe cycling on our busy streets today. You may not know it, but today, or this month, is National Bike Month. A perfect time for us to visit with you this morning to share our passion for cycling. One of the key events this month is called the Ride of Silence. This is hosted by the Mobile Parks and Rec, and it will occur on May 23rd, 6 o'clock in the evening. The ride commemorates cyclists killed and supports those that were injured while riding on public roads. The ride raises awareness among motorists, the public, decision makers like yourselves, of the dangers that cyclists face on the roads, especially from other traffic. We applaud the efforts made in this town to support cycling and the improvements that we see visible on the roadways today, and we thank you for that. Our call to action is to invite you as council members, our club members, and the public to join in the Ride of Silence with the Mobile Parks and Recs later this month. And we will be actively supporting future city council endeavors which promote urban planning that protects our road cyclists. And lastly, thank you again for hearing us today, seeing some of the members of our group, our very fine cycling uniforms with a new logo in the back.
All right, all right. Any questions or comments from the council? Any questions or comments from the council?
Well, Mr. President,
Mr. Carroll.
this group, a couple of years ago, just decided to pedal by my house and sequestered me out of the house and made me pull out my old little gray bike and ride down Broad Street a little bit to show me the effects of the traffic along Broad Street up to Arlington Park, where you are, right there at the park at, I want to say, Airbus on the left. We had quite the exciting ride because I had to take Lyle Coleman from another cycling group and put him in with us. At the time, I was probably about 40 pounds heavier, and that it took a little bit to get the bike up and down the street, but we had quite a nice ride. And I said that to say to you that since that ride, CJ and, I'm sorry, Councilman Small and the city departments have moved forward with the extension of the repairs to Broad Street going all the way up to that point, which will now, where there was no bike lane from the Rounder to the park, then that lane will now be there for you guys to enjoy. It'll pick up where it leaves off right at Broad and Government and continue all the way down to the park that you guys so chose to take us to that day. So that's a good thing, Wanda, especially you, because you call all the time about it. And my daughter's violin teacher standing right behind you, who mentions it all the time. And then my frat brother over here to the right, who, you can't escape the people that are riding. You never know who they are. They're all beside you, and they're talking to you in every bit of your life. So to you guys, I really appreciate the effort that y'all put forward to bring this to the light. But between Canal up to the point now, I think Councilman Small has done quite the effort to get it done, and the administration has done a big job to get this project to where it's almost started. So y'all have a great week, and congratulations.
Congratulations. Vice President.
I want to take the opportunity, too, to recognize the bicyclists who are here. Two, I know in particular because they are from my district, and then, of course, Wanda, who was here, who worked for the city for many, many years. And just thank you all for doing what you do. I do get a kick out of seeing all the photos, and seeing the photos. I'm not actually writing, but anyway, y'all are everywhere. I mean, I see you in all different locations and traveling in a group. We know that it's safer in a group, but education is so very, very important for all the motorists, because they have to look out for bicyclists, and it's just, sometimes it's not very safe, and you know that better than anybody else, the Ride for Silence. So we applaud you for what you're doing, for your advocacy, and we are making a little bit of headway in the city, little bits at a time. We've got some bike lanes every time we do a widening project, that's included, so that's good. But we need to do more, and need to support you more, and help educate the motoring public to what you were doing, and that you have a right to be on those roads. So thank you for coming and for being advocates for this wonderful activity.
Yeah, one last statement, Mr. President. You guys have brought us a long way from Give Me 3 Feet, if I remember Give Me 3 Feet. We've come a long way just because of you guys advocating for the types of roads and renovations and restorations that we have now. So again, thank you for all that y'all done, the vision that you've had to help us move this forward.
James Williams.
Good morning, councilmen. My name is James Williams. My friends call me JW. The topic of my discussion this morning is housing repair for the elderly. We have citizens in our community that purchased houses years ago when housing discrimination was the order of the day. They had to purchase what was offered. There were location restrictions, inflated pricing, and questionable structural integrities in their buildings. Pride in their achievements, memories, historic nature of their community gave them peace. The digital age has suppressed their comprehension as it relates to assistance for repairs. They need help. A community development program via grants and city funds earmarked for home improvements will show them that the city cares and loves them. Most worked hard and made Mobile the city what it is. As we move forward with multi-million-dollar projects for the future, let's not forget the elderly that made it possible.
Thank you so much, Mr. Williams, for coming down. And the city does have some programs for the elderly, and the council, I can pretty much say all of us do agree with you and everything. And also the administration. We have Mr. Jamie Roberts right up there to my left, and he can go down with the list of programs. And I know that Councilman Carroll has been working on several programs too. But if you can get with Mr. Roberts, he can go through the list of programs that the city does currently have going on right now. Thank you so much.
Just to follow up to that, Mr. President, we all know that, well, I don't know if everybody knows, is that because of the recent federal, or I should say, national presidential encumbrances, that certain CDBG, BDG things have been almost zero. Matter of fact, the budgets are zero. Just this week, we've lost the director of our region, the sub-director, and everyone else, and I don't even think there's anybody left up there that's actually managing these funds to get them down to where we are in our city. But however, over the last 2 years, a lot of you know that I've been working very hard on an affordable housing project plan that allows us to build without the encumbrances of HUD. But there is still another thing or piece that we need to do or can do, and that is to find a way to use some funding to help in emergencies when people need them. That are also encumbered, and we are now working on a process or a way to get some of those things done, maybe in a grant format or in a HOPE format or in a position like that. I can tell you that it's coming, but legally I've just got to jump through the hurdles and make sure everything's in the right place so that the funds can be used properly in a correct manner. Jamie, if you want to come down and speak to any of this, you're welcome to. But I think that the public needs to know that as the council president just told you, that right now I hear those cries all the time, especially in District 2, especially out of Campground, the Bottom, and out of Africatown, where some of the oldest housing stock in the city is. I'm working on it, and I plan to come up with something over the next year to be able to get it out to the public to where we can actually use it. Thank you.
Reggie Hill regarding Resolution 01645, 09652, 09653, 13684, and 09683.
Thank you, Madam City Clerk. Before I begin, it's great to see the students from St. Ignatius here. I was on student council SGA from elementary to high school. Please stay involved and engaged. I also want to join with everyone and congratulate Coach Harris. I went to Longcop Elementary and Murphy High School with Bianca, so I'll be messaging her today to congratulate her and thank you for all your service to the community. To the citizens and stakeholders of Mobile, greetings. Reggie Hill is my name. I rise today to continue this conversation about the pertinent issues pertaining to city business. I want us to ensure that we are continuously putting principle above politics. Let's begin with 01-645, and this is with the Sawgrass Consultant. I have still yet to understand, and I think Mr. Amberger is a very capable individual, why we continuously want to privatize understanding what the citywide street assessment is. We know what the damage is throughout each of our districts. We have constituency base that complains or tells us about this all the time. Why aren't we utilizing the department that we already have to save those resources and put it towards the actions that we need to take? Let's look at 09-652, and this is the transfer of funds for the Civic Center demolition. This is $430,000. So they were talking about the Historic Preservation Month, but yet we wanted to destroy the historic, excuse me, the historic essence of who we are as Mobilians. And we know that you all have finessed what you could have through the state courts right now, but please know that the federal courts are on pending notice of what's going on. Let's move to 09-653, and this is the $300K for the cameras. Where was the oversight before any of this was done? What were our decision makers being done? It's about being proactive in what we're doing. And we need to see this equal level of investment, not just in materialistic things such as cameras, but actually in programmatic sequences that are actually going to work and improve the quality of life here for our citizens so they don't commit these crimes. It's almost as if every time that we take an approach to public safety in the city of Mobile, as if we're trying to nail Jell-O to a tree. This stuff is not working. I think we need to invest back into actual data-proven metrics that show how we do this and how we get this done within the city of Mobile. Because we know time does not allow what it needs to do. Let's look at the 13-684. This is the $3.8 million for the storm drain maintenance. Thank you. I've been coming out here since 2016, begging you all to work on this drainage piece. 5 to 10 minutes of rain here in the city of Mobile, it floods everywhere. I'm not sure where these resources are going. I hope somebody's going to, specify that. But to see this on the agenda, kudos to that. We need more like it. Lastly, this 09-683. Judge Naaman came down here and spoke about how we're struggling mentally. We just had Mr. Williams come down and speak about the pain and suffering that seniors are facing. We were willing to move from our unassigned fund balance $858,000 to do something else, increasing the budget for the Civic Center. Can we see this go towards housing? Can we see this go towards public housing, affordable housing? Can we see this go towards the social service initiatives that are actually going to benefit our youth? We tout a lot about the things that we're doing well, and that's good. But we have to understand it's just like commending parents for being parents. These are things you're supposed to do anyway. Let's go the extra mile to do what's necessary for our city. Thank you for yielding the floor.
Ordinances held over. 25018, amend Chapter 25, Article 1, Garbage and Trash, Section 5, Household Garbage, and Article 3, Enforcement, Section 33, Penalties of the Mobile City Code.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second. Any discussion?
Mr. President,
Mr. Woods.
I'd like to make an amendment. I've provided it to the clerk's office. Make a motion to amend the amendment. Basically, I'll wait till discussion.
Second.
Properly moved and second on the amendment, and then the discussion on the amendment. All in
Mr.
favor?
President.
Aye.
All opposed? Amendment passed. Going back to discussion.
Mr. President.
Mr. Woods.
Basically, the amendment here uncomplicates what I originally put in. Only real change is moving instead of addressing the additional penalties and all of this. Just nails down the penalties, limits it to the garbage cart aspect, and then also to just changes a mistake on the time that you can put it out from 5 a.m. The day before to noon or 12 p.m. the day before.
Any other discussion?
Yes, sir, Mr. President.
Vice President.
I want to commend Councilman Woods for taking this on and making these tweaks. I think they're important, and I'm glad everybody is on board with this. This is just the beginning of some of the changes that we do need to make. We talked last week about issues with scrap tires that we can include in an upcoming amendment, as well as what to do when there are evictions and all the properties or belongings within a house are just dumped out onto a front yard, left to spread. Donation boxes where people come and just leave their trash around donation boxes. And then, of course, the illegal dumping that continues to plague the city. So all of these things we'll be able to look at in the coming months to make some changes to our garbage and trash ordinance. Thank you, Mr. Woods, again for taking this on.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item pass.
CIP resolutions held over 08644, approved purchase order to Gray Bar Electric.
So moved.
Properly moved and second, in the discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item pass.
Resolutions held over 01645, authorized master services agreement with Sawgrass Consulting for CIP citywide street assessment. 08646, approved item-based bid for medical equipment. 08647, approved purchase order to Beard Equipment Company for John Deere Moore. 08648, approved purchase order to Beard Equipment Company for John Deere bunker, rake, and Dakota sand top dresser. 08649, approved purchase orders to Jerry Pate Turf and Irrigation for club car, utility carts, and green roller. 08650, approved purchase order to Site One Landscape Supply for Rainbird Irrigation System. 09652, transfer funds from Civic Center new parking facility project to Civic Center marketing project for Civic Center new construction and demo project. 09653, transfer funds from Police Department Support Services Division to Public Safety Administrative Division for security camera system improvements. 21654, authorized contract with geotechnical engineering testing for Pago resurfacing, and 21655, authorized contract with Harwell and Company for Pago resurfacing. 21656, rescind resolution 21596, authorizing contract with Diallo Green. 37657, consider the application for certificate of public convenience and necessity to operate a taxi cab service.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item passes.
Ordinance is being introduced, 64019.
For council rules, this ordinance will lay over for 1 week.
Consent resolutions being introduced, 09660 through 60669.
Move to waive the rules for immediate consideration of these resolutions as read.
Second. Properly moved and second, any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Rules waived, Madam Clerk.
09660, transfer funds from District 1 discretionary account to Dodge Community Center 37661. Recommend approval to the ABC Board for issuance of a restaurant retail liquor license to La Delicia Mexican Brunch and Cantina on Dolphin Street. 46662, honorarily renamed corner of Butler Street and First Avenue to James and Callie Lambert Way. 58663 and 664, assess cost for removal of weeds, repeat weedling groups 86 and 1662. 60, 665, 666, 667, 668, and 669 are determining appropriations to Reconnect, Inc., Gulf Coast Dementia Services, Inc., Dog River Clearwater Revival, LLC, Country Club Estates Neighborhood Association, and Richards DAR House Museum serve a public purpose and approve payment.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second, any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Item passes.
Resolutions being introduced, 01670 through 6686.
Move to waive the rules for immediate consideration of Resolution 21-685, with the rest being laid over for 1 week.
Second. Properly moved and second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. President, can we go ahead and take 09683 since we're tabling that one?
To waive the rules on 09683.
Second. Properly moved and second, any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Madam Clerk.
09683, transfer funds from unassigned fund balance in the general fund to capital improvement fund for Civic Center new construction and demo.
Motion to table.
Second.
Properly moving second in discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item table.
21685, authorized contract with Watson AC Strunk Design for Bienville Square site and lighting improvements.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moving second in discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item pass.
Call for public hearings. 41687, call for public hearing to consider rezoning property located at 2005 Obey Front Drive and 4182 Commanders Drive from R1 to I2, scheduled June 10th. 41688, call for public hearing to amend the Unified Development Code by adding Article 15 Historic Avenue Overlay, scheduled June 10th.
So moved. Second.
Properly moving second in discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Public hearings called.
Announcements.
District 2, Councilman Carroll.
Yes, Mr. President. May I let everyone know that once again, the Prince of Peace Lawn Festival is May 31st and June 1st. But may I also extend this again that come out and sync your councilman in the Duncan booth. For every dime or dollar that is spent, it will go to towards a charitable cause for the community and everything else. So I encourage all of you to come out on May 31st and also June 1st. Come out again and thank your councilman. Thank you.
Councilman Reynolds, you going this year?
I might. It was a blast last year.
Well, hopefully this year, I expect to see all of you, including the mayor out there. Maybe one of y'all can actually dunk me for a change as opposed to being running up there and pushing the button.
Whatever it takes.
District 4, Councilman Reynolds.
No announcement.
District 1, Councilman Penn.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just saw my middle school teacher here from Scarborough Middle School, Ms. Jenkins. She just stepped out, but I wanted to tell her thank you for working with a young man at the time who didn't know that his purpose was a little bad, but as you see, I made it. But last week I had a great week. We had an opportunity to participate in the National Day of Prayer at Brooklyn by the Bay. It was a beautiful time to be praying for our city, praying for our government, the state, our nation. And so I just want to commend everyone who made that happen. And then on Saturday, May the 3rd, we had the Opportunities Day at Bishop State. We stopped by, so many resources for the community. And then on Sunday, we had the Senior Bowl Hall of Fame. We had Coach Gruden and Richard Sherman, so many great people here, and just stating how the city of Mobile changed their life. Richard Sherman said that he didn't even know he was going to be drafted, but he got a phone call at the last minute to come to Mobile. And because he came, he's now a Pro Bowler, Richard Sherman. And that's the powerful things that are taking place right here in the city of Mobile. And I had an amazing time just hearing those stories. And they kept saying, they didn't just say the Senior Bowl, they kept saying Mobile, Mobile. And that's powerful. Again, I want to thank Governor Kay Ivey, Al Dot, Laura, Nick, the administration. We received funds for the Rebuild Alabama in District 1 to rebuild repay Brookdale for $250,000 grant. And so I just want to commend the whole team for making that happen. I also want to give big shout outs to the Park and Recs. We have a new playground at Figures. That's a grant as well. So a lot of great things are taking place in District 1, as well as Highway 45 improvements. We have a meeting in District 1 in Tomerville on May the 13th at 6 p.m. at the Figures Community Center. So we're inviting everyone to come out May the 13th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And then on May 31st, we will have the One Love Block Party in the Trenton Gardens community at the Michael Dow Amphitheater at 3 p.m. So invite everyone to come out for the One Love Block Party in District 1. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman Penn. District 6, Councilman Woods.
Thank you, Mr. President. Wanted just to take a moment, this morning had the opportunity before coming in the chamber to take a look at an exhibit that's out in the atrium. It's called the Into the Light Project, and the project focuses on bringing awareness and telling the stories of opioid overdoses and deaths. Commissioner Dewitt, in conjunction with the University of Alabama, was able to have this for the month of May out in the atrium. So did want to point that out and make a spotlight on that to be sure for everyone to come and visit that. Did want to announce May 15th at 5:30, Woodridge Baptist Church will have our next District 6 community meeting. So please make sure that, I think cards went out. Everyone should know about that. So make sure that that's noted down. On the agenda today, there was 2 items for the repaving of Hillcrest Road. So I just wanted to say thank you for Commissioner Hudson for working with the city to fund those projects or that project. And also too, just want to reiterate that pay-as-you-go is a huge aspect when it comes to making sure that our infrastructure and things are done. So that's definitely something I wanted to cast a light on. And then did also wouldn't be remiss to say that thank you to Kim and her team at Parks and Rec. I know they're gone, but especially sharing this morning about everything that goes on in Parks and Rec. I know in District 6 we have Medal of Honor Park and also West Side. And I did want to brag. My oldest hit his first home run last night at West Side, so in a city park. So very proud of him, and did want to point that out. And I did want to ask Director Lasky. I know in between council and pre-council, I asked about just some updates on crime statistics. I did want to let him spit those out real quick, and that'll be it for me.
Thank you, Councilman. I got you some brief stats, and I will can go into more in depth of these next week. But percentage-wise, in 2025, we're down 25% in homicides, 59% in enforceable rapes, 14% in robberies, 11% in assaults, gunshot wounds, and 42% in shooting into. I'd like to recognize Chief Jackson and the men and women of Mobile PD who work hard, but also you all who provide them with everything they need, and the people that work in the community to produce these stats. These stats represent progress, but let's rest assured that we're not going to stop until every resident in every neighborhood feels safe and feels okay to go outside and go to parks. But I can provide you more next week in a more formal fashion.
That's it for me.
Thank you, Councilman Woods. And Vice President Gregory.
Thank you, Mr. President. Last week, Councilman Woods and I combined efforts for a meeting that was promoted as for people who were transitioning from District 6 to District 7. We wound up with residents from throughout District 6, 4, and some from 7, all current residents in those districts, which was perfectly fine because we also presented information on public safety, Parks and Rec, infrastructure, and 311. So a lot of good information was presented. But since we had promoted this as for those transitioning from one district to the other, trying to explain what's going on, we'll be sending out follow-up letters to those folks so that they can better understand what's going on and what it means for them on polling precincts, that kind of thing. I get a lot of questions from people who know that they have or are transitioning to another district, wondering, well, where am I going to vote? So we'll be providing that information to them. And then yesterday, we had a great day out at Azalea City Golf Course. This was the 19th annual Joe Smith Memorial Scholarship Golf Tournament, and it is sponsored and hosted by the Kappa Alpha Psi Mobile Alumni Chapter. Councilman Penn was there, and we had a great time just welcoming everyone and seeing the players and thanking the Kappa Alpha Psi Alumni Chapter for what they do to help promote education and community service in general. Azalea City looked terrific. It was great to be out there and seeing everything, nothing but compliments. And this year, by the way, too, they have a record number of people playing in the golf tournament. They had 106 players yesterday, and they think maybe it's because they were at Azalea. So I think they'll be back. Thank you.
Vice President, on behalf of Councilman Carroll, Penn, and myself, you're so welcome. You Greetings to the citizens of District 3. I'd like to piggyback behind Councilman Woods and Gregory, and I'd like to extend my many thanks to Director Lasky and also you, Ms. Smith, being executive directors. As Councilwoman Gregory has stated, you know, they had a community meeting on last evening, but many people had other questions and stuff. And it's very important to have the executive directors at these meetings. Many times, many people cannot come down here at 10 o'clock or 10:30, but they have an opportunity to come to the evening meetings. And I know the last several evening meetings that we have had, that many people had questioned Director Lasky and Director Smith, and it was right there on the spot giving the answer. So I really do appreciate you all so much working throughout the whole day and the weekends and still come to the evening meetings. That mean a lot, not only to the council people up here, but also to the citizens that we represent. And speaking of community meetings, we do have one for the Oakdale and Maysville community, which will be on May the 20th at Rock of Faith Missionary Baptist Church on South Ann Street. The residents, we have sent out postcards. You all should be receiving them on next week. And again, this meeting is for the Maysville and also the Oakdale community. And I would like to wish every mother out there a happy Mother's Day on this coming Sunday. Anything from the administration?
No, sir, but we want to take a picture with Coach Harris out at the, steps, okay?
Motion to adjourn.
Properly moved and second in the discussion. All in favor? All in favor? Y'all want to stay here some more? All in favor? All opposed?